go.
The recording has started.
Greetings, family. Welcome to another one of your Frank26 UB Tubies. Normally, our Monday and Wednesday calls are, longer. But Monday is the day that I'm going to focus on spending a lot of time with you. And during the week, we'll do shorts, but they won't be as long. But today, it'll be with probably about an extra 30 minutes long because we have two advertisers. And listen, family, I bring you these advertisers because they did me justice. They did me good. I don't bring it to you so that I can fill my pockets with riches. If I wanted to do that, I'd rob a bank. I want to bring you products that I know that did me good. So tonight we have two of our advertisers. They're going to take 15 minutes apiece, and when they're done, then we're going to get to work. And oh my goodness, do we have do we have things to talk about? Once again, call everybody. Bring them in here. But before we do anything, we are ktfalways.com, which stands for Keep the Faith Always in Our Heavenly Father. Will you join me as I pray to our God? Abba, Heavenly Father, I praise you for the beauty that I see with my eyes. I praise you for the beauty that I feel in my heart, for it comes from you, from the Holy Spirit. I am righteous because of the Holy Spirit. I am righteous because your Son died on the cross for me, to be in front of you, to tell you that I love you, I adore you, I worship you, I need you, and I ask you to protect us in this call for tonight. Be with those that are with us, God. Hear their prayers, hear their pain, relieve it. Please, cancel their debt, bring joy into their hearts. Bless them, Father. For it is in the name of your Son, Jesus, by the Holy Spirit, that I pray with great faith, knowing that you're there listening to me. Amen, amen, amen. Andy, if you're with us, you blow that shofar.
I'm going to blow this shofar the whole way from here to Scotland.
They're going on a cruise? Amen, amen, amen. Thank you, Brother Andy. Well, now, family, like I told you, I'm just going to take the first 30 minutes to introduce some products. You already know about Protandem, okay? You already know about Protandem. But I want you to listen to our Dr. Rich one more time, because every time that he comes and talks to you, he's like a cornucopia filled with information. He's like a piñata ready to be busted open. Protandem is a product, one of the products that my oncologist allows me to take. Why? Because this is as natural as can be, and it does amazing things for the human body. The studies actually show, and they can be proven to you, that if you take this product, you'll add 5 years to your lifespan. Family, they gave me 2 to 4 years to, they gave me 2 to 4 months to live. But I had been taking Protandem for many years. Somehow or another, I've lasted going on my 5th year now. God is good, God is great, and I bring you the products that he showed me in order to survive with what I had to go through. Please pay close attention to our Dr. Rich and what he has to say. Dr. Rich, are you there, sir?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear. Good job. The floor is yours, and please, sir, do take about 15 minutes, so we'll see you at about 25 after.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to just take off here?
Take off.
About it. I'll come in at the end. Okay. All right. Well, folks, listen. What I'm intending to do tonight is the beginning of a 3-part series with Frank. And, 6.5 years later since I came out of retirement using the nutrigenomic science and the medically produced and formulas from LifeVantage, prescription grade, medically formulated, lots and lots of research. I want to talk about 3 areas. These are the areas when people call me, there is a level of issues that they're dealing with. And the first is the basic acute issues. And then there are chronic issues. People who have been presenting or displaying their symptoms for 6 months or longer. And then there's the advanced issues that are serious. Sometimes the people are terminal. So what is it that so some people call me and they don't really have anything wrong. They want a exercise and so on, but they want to stay that way. So if that's you out there, someone in Frank's audience, then you want to make sure, folks, listen, with a short period of time tonight, please take something to write with and something to write on, and take down my Telegram room, because there are 9 links that I put in there that are relative to what I'm going to tell you tonight that are full of research and information that will set you free if you are suffering and you want to increase your level of wellness. That room is Health Topics, Dr. Dr. Rich and Tippy, Tippy. Health Topics, Dr. Rich and Tippy. You will be blessed if you go there and look at the links that are in there. Now, 3 things. When people contact me and they don't have real serious problems, and if you don't have any serious problems, you want to start with the formula for Tandem NRF2. That is the formula that activates your cells and increases your gene expression, especially if you are over 30 and you're still doing well. You're already aging and you're already developing diseases, but they're not manifesting yet. You want to stop that. How do you do it? Research validated. 1 tablet of Protandim NRF2 daily, and that will increase your gene expression, activate your cells, start neutralizing the free radicals, which cause every single disease that doctors treat with medication and surgery. Now, others, recurring nagging issues. What could that be? Well, could be maybe you have you just don't feel right mentally. Maybe a little depressed. You have back pain or pain in general. Allergies that keep coming back and recurring. Sinus infections. Oh my God, and they keep coming back, and you go to the doctor and they keep coming back. Sore throat, strep throat, ear infections or ear pain, fatigue in general, urinary tract infections, better known as UTI, skin infections, bronchitis, common colds, coughs. These are the nagging types of things that people say, I just can't get over them. Well, there's a reason for that. I'm going to attend to that. And the second issue that people call me about a lot, wound healing. Their wounds will not heal. Open wounds where they get cut, or they have surgery and their incision will not heal. Or when it does appear to heal, they have pain and tightness and pulling and issues. They feel uncomfortable at the point of incision. And the third one is digestive issues. Folks, if you are not blessed by 2 bowel movements a day at least, then contact Frank and Will and get my phone number and get with me so I can tell you or teach you how to overcome that problem, because a lack of digestion causes autointoxication, which causes many diseases and many of the recurring things. So, how do we do it? So, folks, if you're over 30, your gene expression is gone and went. Those genes, 20 to 35,000 genes, are not doing what they're supposed to be doing like they did when you were younger. They're not producing the antioxidative enzymes, glutathione, superoxide, dismutase, catalase, and hemioxygenase. So therefore, free radicals are damaging you. Those free radicals are the cause of every disease and aging. And it's easy to fix. Activate the cells, increase the gene expression with NRF2. But why do some people have these recurring nagging issues, and why won't their wounds heal? Or why are they having poor digestion? They don't drink enough water. Their diet is poor. I will recommend a specific type of diet. It's not a diet, it's just a way of eating. It teaches you what foods to avoid. It will set you free. I will teach you how to promote proper elimination. And if you go to Health Topics, Dr. Rich and Tippy, you will see an incredible link about avoiding soft drinks. If you read through this link, you'll never drink one again. And if you are smoking, if you go to the room and review the link on what the diseases smoking causes, That means that those free radicals are damaging your cells, and they're making it impossible for you to stay healthy because those free radicals are damaging the 5 types of immune cells that are responsible for destroying bacteria and virus and yeast and cancer cells, etc., etc., etc. So put your body back. If you're struggling with all of those things that I mentioned, and they keep coming back, and you go to the doctor, well, they do give you a stronger antibiotic. Well, it may not be a bacterial infection. Maybe it's a virus. I can show you what to do and how to overcome that. Now, I want to get into this situation with wound healing. Okay, so since we only have a limited amount of time, wound healing or scar tissue, the research, folks, points to the importance of NRF2 signaling during tissue repair. Whether you had an accident, you were cut, you were scraped, you were in a motorcycle accident, you have adhesions everywhere, or you had surgery and you had an incision, you have to promote NRF2 transcription factor. It's in the room. Health Topics, Dr. Rich and Dippy, go and look at the links. But in essence, the body has to activate NRF2 transcription factor, which means it's got to get that NRF2 protein to the nucleus so the antioxidant enzymes are produced. And if you do that, you're going to repair your wounds and do it quickly. If you're over 30 and your wound or your incision isn't healing, it's because dehydration, poor diet, a lack of elimination, and a lack of NRF2 transcription factor. Easy to fix all of those. So if you're suffering, folks, contact me and I'll teach you how to overcome those issues. So if you're over 30, it's really important to increase your activate your cells and increase your gene expression. And we can do it. If you know this is the basic approach. People that are really sick, we can increase that gene expression to the moon and get you healthy real quick. So if you have chronic problems or severe problems, I'm not saying don't call me. Absolutely. If you're on this call and you're suffering from something major, or you haven't had a good report from the doctor, get with Frank and get with Will. After 27,000 people in 6 years, I've heard all those issues. I know what they took. I can share the good news and the procedure with you. Now, hear this. Wound healing involves a series of cellular events in damaged cells. So if you're cut or injured or there's an incision, you've got damage in the cells. And the tissues, and they have to initiate, what has to be initiated is something called hemostasis, not homeostasis, hemostasis. That's when the body forms a temporary plug to seal an injury or an incision, and it's done by something called coagulation. Go to Health Topics, Dr. Rich and Dippy, join the room. It's all in there for you to read. Okay, so what happens when wound healing is involved in this cellular process? The culminating event is with a formation of a fibrin clot, not a blood clot, just fibrous material that seals or plugs the area up and begins the healing process. If you are low in NRF2 transcription factor, if you're over 30, if you have massive free radical damage, it's going to take forever for that cut or those abrasions from the accident or that incision from the surgery to heal, and it may not heal correctly. However, delay in the normal wound healing process due to a lack of NRF2 transcription is going to lead to inflammation and immune suppression at the wound or surgery site. And this creates a medical challenge. So what's the solution? Open the NRF2 signaling pathway by taking Pretandem NRF2. The biggest breakthrough in medicine took 45 years to create, 14 right where it's necessary, to the extent necessary, to overcome the issues, the slow healing, the continued nagging problems. Don't go through that, folks. Get in touch with me. It's a simple process. I will teach you how to do it. Okay, so there's another link in there, folks, in the room about how bad soft drinks are. Please go and review that link. And there's another one on the hazards of smoking and the diseases that smoking cigarettes cause. Please go and review that. So, what do I tell people to do when they call me and they have these quote-unquote nagging or basic or acute problems? Always start with drinking water, eating right, proper elimination. But you have to begin with activating the cells and increasing the gene expression with NRF2. Now, many times, especially if the people were sluggish in their digestion, once they start moving their bowels correctly, we need to fix the gut biome. So we add ProBio, the prescription-grade probiotic, 1 capsule at bedtime to put the good bacteria in there. Why, folks? Because 90% of your immune response takes place in the colon. If the colon was plugged up and you weren't eliminating, you had very little immune response. It's no wonder you kept getting colds and sore throats and ear infections, etc. Now, here's the big one. 3 links in Health Topics, Dr. Rich and Tippy, on the benefits and the logic behind taking D3. LifeVantage has a methylated prescription-grade D3 that will knock the socks off of anything that's out there. Now, if you activate your... What does the research say? If you have low levels of D3, you're going to develop diseases, especially cancer. You're going to get these nagging problems or develop chronic problems down the road because your levels of D3 have to be at a certain place and you have to maintain them. Most people have no idea that that's necessary, nor do they do it. So if you activate your cells, increase your gene expression, and take the methylated D3, which is synergistic with pretandem NRF2, all of those issues, like your back pain and your allergies and your sinus problems and upper respiratory problems and throats and ears and UTIs, etc., they're going to disappear. They're going to disappear. And an ultimate approach sometimes for the nagging problems is pretandem NRF2, ProBio to increase the probiotics in the gut and fix that gut biome, and take the D3. Miracles happen with the nagging, easy problems if you simply do that. But you've got to drink water. You've got to eat right, and you've got to eliminate today what you ate yesterday. If you do that, the rest is easy, because I know what to tell you to do, because many people have been down the road that you're going down now, and I can share with you what they did to be totally healthy. Now, if you're really, then still call Will or Frank, and I'll help you with the more serious.
I'm going to give them some information, if you don't mind. If you'd like to talk with Dr. Rich, give me a call. I'll put you in contact with him. Also, you can text me or you can email me. I'm going to give you all that information right now. I hope you got that personal paper. The phone number that you can call or text is 910-690-6008. The email address is always saving77@gmail.com. I had someone tell me today, always saving77@gmail.com. I had a lady call me today and said, can you please go over to the hospital in your area? I have a friend over there whose husband is being given 4 weeks to live, and make sure she gets some of that product. So I'm on my way to the hospital to deliver it right now. God bless you, Frank.
Hey, gentlemen.
I'm excited to help anybody from your community, Frank. Call me, folks. I'm here and ready to help you.
Dr. Rich, first of all, I want to put my arms around you because, like I told you, family, Dr. Rich is like, he's a treasure of information. You notice that when he gets on a subject, he says a lot about that subject, and then it's hard for him to get away from that subject because he has so much information to share about that subject. This product, Protandem family, he believes in it. He prescribes it, and he comes out of his way. He's not part of my group. Dr. Rich is not signed up underneath me, or I underneath him. But yet he comes to KTFA family to express his knowledge to you. You know how powerful this product is? Well, yeah, once you start taking it. You saw me about, what was it, about 6 days ago? I was minding my own business, and all of a sudden, I get pulled to the left. Remember? I was in great pain. Well, it turns out that I have one more operation on the 18th. Well, excuse me, in August, I will have my 18th operation. I have a port, and this port sits right here. You can see that bump. You see that bump right there? That's my port. And that's where they put, in fact, tomorrow, praise God, finally, a week and a half late, but tomorrow I go to the University of Hawaii and I get my first immune therapy treatment here. And I can tell that I need it. I feel very, very tired. And the demand on me is great. But God's with me and He lifts me and my wife supports me 100%. But we're going to be okay. But the thing about Protandem family is if you heard Dr. Rich, if you paid close attention, did you remember the part when he started talking about scar tissue? If you've had operations? Yeah. When I get a cramp is a cramp, okay? Ow, it hurts, let go. I promised God everything under the sun just to please let it go. But scar tissue, it's different. It grabs you and pulls you in the direction of the scar tissue. I don't know how to explain it except to demonstrate it and go, oh, like that. You see what I did? I went, oh. I pulled in the direction where the pain was pulling me away because it's a scar tissue that does not have the same elasticity, the same amount of room, the same amount of connective tissue that I used to have before. So my body suffers from a pair of shoes that just don't fit very well anymore. But it's okay because I can still wear those shoes. And I'm grateful to God for that. And I'm grateful to Dr. Rich bringing us this knowledge. Protandem is a product that is amazing. I took it to my oncologist and he looked at it. He looked at it forward, backwards, forward, backwards. He put his glasses on and finally looked at, oh yeah, you can take this, Frank. This is what we do for you here. We build your immune system. Yeah, this is uses a certain protein. So yeah, we're familiar with this. Go right ahead and take it. So I bring it to you, family, to tell you, you should consider it. There is, look at this little box. Isn't this the cutest thing? I like this, Will. I think this is so cute. And it's got all three of the packages. Excuse me, there you go. It has the NRF1 right there, NRF2, and the Synergizer. And you saw me take one of the packages out. And I opened it up and I took the product. That's my daily dose. Anyways, family, if you have any interest in the Protandem product, please get a hold of Will or call me. My phone number is 419-283-2552. And we'll be glad to connect you and help you out. And if you want to talk to Dr. Rich, because he'll be more than glad to help you. That's what he's about. He wants to help. And I greatly appreciate it.
And I don't charge services, Frank.
Yeah, that's another beautiful thing. He doesn't charge services for it. He's doing things out of his heart, not out of his pocket. And that's why I've learned to appreciate him greatly. Thank you, Dr. Rich, for telling us about NRF1, NRF2, and NAD, the Synergizer, which puts it all together to work even better. And by the way, Doctor, anytime you want to come, just let me know. We'll bring you in, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready. Anytime you want me on, just let me know. I'll teach.
You know what? Hey, Will, are you there? Doctor, you get with Will. Tink, next Wednesday, let's go ahead and bring them in. And doctor, let's give you 30 minutes next Wednesday, okay?
Okay, well, that'll be good because I'm going to talk next Wednesday then about the chronic problems that people contact me about, many of which have no hope overcoming them. That's a lie from the pits of hell. I will teach them what to do.
Thank you kindly. That sounds fantastic, family. Tell your friends and loved ones to come on down and listen to Dr. Rich next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Will. All righty. Well, family, if you can please, just one more commercial, and then we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. Now, this next commercial comes from our transcriber. Our transcriber. We call her Shang Doodle. Can I give her first name?
No.
No? Don't give her first name? Okay.
And her friend John is on.
Oh, and John is with us too.
She is.
Apparently, John is going to be doing a 15-minute lecture to you. But before he does, I want you to know something. You know that I bring you products that help me because I dealt with cancer. They gave me 4 months to live, but look at where we're at. Now, one of the things that I recall is when I had my operation that removed my bladder, and they gave me a bag to live with now. And it turns out that they also took one of my kidneys away. Bummer. The doctor says to me, Frank, you're going to have to hydrate. And we'll see you in a week. I said, well, 4. You just operated on me. Let me go home. I don't like this. He said, well, we're going to see you in a week because we're going to have to hydrate you. We're going to have an IV into you. It'll only take about an hour. But come on back. We'll do an IV. I said, what for? What for? The doctor laughs or smiled and he says, I think you'll understand in a week. Well, a week went by and I was so sluggish. I was so tired. I was healing, for crying out loud. But the problem was that I was dehydrated. The last thing I wanted to do was drink water. I had just been operated in this area down here. You know what I'm saying? And you get dehydrated very quickly. I mean, very quickly. So on the 8th day, when we returned back to the Cleveland Clinic and they hooked me up with an IV, about 30 minutes into the IV, all of a sudden I turned to Jan. Remember, Jan?
Yeah.
What'd I say to you?
I can see better.
I can see better. I feel better. I'm not nauseous. I think I can even hear. I can definitely see better. Yeah. What's going on? And the doctor said, do you remember a week ago I told you you would come back and we would give you an IV? Yeah, and I didn't find any logic in it. He says, do you understand now? My tissues were thirsty? Beyond thirsty, Frank. The human body is nothing more but a bag of water. You were a raisin. We needed to bring you back into a grape, plump with water. Ladies and gentlemen, Shang Doodle would like to introduce to you for the first time a new product. And the thing is that I make this product. I make this product. Look at here, let me show you what I mean. This here's a bottle of water, okay? And what I do is I add this because this is what my doctors gave me. This is called Mag Smoothies. And I open it up and I put it in water and you can see the contents to it. It's filled with kind of a lemony smell, electrolytes. Yeah. And when I do that, I stop cramping. When I get cramps, I get cramps. They hurt. I promise God everything under the sun, please relieve this cramp. Please. Sometimes it's so brutal that the injury stays with me for about 3 days before the bruising effect goes away. My calf will turn into a ball. My bicep will recede my arm. My ribs go spastic and I can't breathe. These are the things that I live with now because I only have one kidney. I have to be aware that I need hydration. Well, instead of this little this bottle and this little device or product that the doctors gave me. Shang Doodle introduced me to a product that yesterday I went to play golf. Well, you saw it on the UV2V. I went to go play golf with my wife and family. I haven't had my immune therapy. It's been over a week and a half now, and I paid the price for it. I cramped. But quickly, I told my wife, because she grabbed, the mag, and she started putting it in here. I said, no. Reach in my golf bag, way down in the bottom, and pull this can out. Pull this can out. Pull it out. So my wife pulled the can out, and she said, oh, this is from Shang Doodle. Yeah. It says here that well, look at here. See what it says? It says it hydrates. And apparently, if I drink 2 of these every day for about a week, then my body becomes fully hydrated? I'm not a raisin. I'm more of a plump grape. Well, that's exactly how the homeostasis of the human body functions with water. Water. We're 90-something plus percent just water. So, it seems to me that I need to hold my water because I don't have a bladder anymore. It goes out of me quick, very quickly. But this product, when I took it at the golf course, it only took like about 15 minutes. I noticed, wait a minute, my cramp is gone. Let me read this bottle. What is it? Well, this is the same stuff that I take with that thing that my doctor gave me. And look at all of these things. I like this stuff. So what does it taste like? Beer. No. Did I say that? No. No, it don't taste like beer. It tastes like lemongrass. Here in Hawaii, we have a lot of Asian food, and they cook with lemongrass. This is a very pleasant taste for me. The bottle that I make with this powder tastes the same. I've decided to bring this product to you because this product that the doctors gave me, I have to constantly take. This is a product that I believe that if I take, it will take good care of me. It'll take good care of me throughout the day, and for that matter, for the rest of my life if I drink it. So now that I've given my testimony about this product that we're introducing for the very first time, I'd like to bring in, what's his name, John, is it?
John.
Well, maybe first also Shag Doodle, if you're there, you want to... She's not there? Okay. John, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am, Frank. How are you this evening?
Mighty fine. Please, sir, the floor is yours. I did a little testimony, a little introduction to the product because hydration is extremely important for human beings. It's 12:40. If you could finish in 15 minutes, I'd appreciate it. The floor is yours.
You got it. Thank you so much, Frank. I appreciate you letting me come on and share a little bit of information here and speak to the community about, actually, it's amazing to me as I listened to the last gentleman talk, there's so much overlapping data.
I agree.
And what he really was talking about, it seemed to be at the center of his conversation, is what you've just expressed some concern about, and that is dehydration. And the ripple effect from being dehydrated is just way more significant than I would have thought, actually. This is a product that is just coming into the market, so you're not going to find it at the store. It's actually not very easy to get your hands on at this time. So this is kind of a unique sneak peek of a product that is doing some really amazing things. And I have to share a little bit of a backstory because I think it's important to understand the genesis of a product, or where does a product come from? And what's the ultimate goal? And I think when you held up the product, True Hydration, I think we're speaking to the target of the product, which is to hydrate the cells. And I think that as people start to research hydration, I think it's a pretty known fact that drinking a lot of water doesn't necessarily hydrate the cells because of the quality of the water or some of the different aspects of water. And we're going to break that down a little bit. But what I'd like to do is to start with at the beginning of the story. And I got introduced to this, actually, it was only about a month ago. And so it really is a new product in the market. But I'm going to give a gift to everybody here tonight. And so everyone's going to have an opportunity
to partake in an amazing humanitarian gift. And that's really the genesis of this product. And so a gentleman who is bringing this product into the market is pretty well known, actually, as a humanitarian. He's got a very interesting story. As a young man, he came into this country to go to Princeton. And he dropped out after about 1 year and said, this isn't for me. And he went back to his home country, and he joined a monastery. He was a monk for 12 years. And this is all important to the bigger story because it's the way the whole thing happened and what's behind it that it's very meaningful to me, because I know a lot of people in the community are interested in doing something and participating in something that uplifts our fellow man, something that is humanitarian. I think a lot of us have that desire to do something at that level. And after 12 years in the monastery, he said, I'm going to go out into the world and do some other things. He actually came back to the U.S. He bought a small injection molding company, turned it around and made a reasonable amount of money, and decided that he was going to innovate another product, and it has to do with the energy drink sector. So he created a product called 5 Hour Energy. And whether you like energy products or not, whether that is something that I've never actually had one of those products, so I can't really speak to its experience at a very deep level. But he's done very well with that product. It's been about 20 years. He owns about 92% of the energy drink market. Well, what's interesting about that is that, he obviously has a kind of a proven track record, but what he has done is he has taken his earnings and he puts that back into the humanitarian effort. And so he's got 3 main targets on the planet, and that is water, clean and potable drinking water for everyone on the planet, especially the impoverished countries that don't have clean potable water. So water purification is one of his top things. The second is energy. He wants to bring energy or a light bulb to some of these parts of the world that don't have electricity. And the third thing, of course, is lifting people up in their health. And so his fundamental principle is that if he can help those 3 areas, then anybody with a will could elevate them to accomplish anything in their life. And so this is the heart of a man by the name of Manoj Bhargava. And he lives in Michigan. In fact, interestingly enough, I seem to be in his hometown here this evening because we're going to be meeting up for the next couple of days talking about this project. So at the heart of this is a man who is now worth about $5 billion. And I don't say that for any other reason than to say that he has resources. He's done well, but the interesting part is that he gives away 99% of his money. And that's an amazing thing. And so he's really working very hard to do some special things on the planet. He feeds 1 million children a day. He's built hospitals and schools and is an amazing contributor. So what does this have to do with hydration and our health? I clearly would tell you that energy drinks aren't necessarily something I view as a health formula. They might help you survive a long car trip, but it wouldn't be what I would call health food per se. This product is an extension of his water project. So he's been doing water desalination and taking salt water and turning that into potable drinking water. He takes brackish water, mud water, and turns that into potable drinking water. And once we start to understand the importance of water, because after all, water is life. Life is water. They're inextricably connected. But when we look at this, it really comes down to if someone is drinking enough water, or even decent quality water, does it actually hydrate the cells of the body? I know people that drink quite a bit of water. In fact, one recently that I was talking to ended up in the hospital from dehydration. So how do you drink a lot of water and end up dehydrated? Well, it has to do with how the water is at some level kind of created. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of a scale and a perspective here. That water has different aspects to it. Obviously, we know that our water tables, our aquifers are highly polluted all around this world. When it rains, all of a sudden we feel, it's a little fresher out. The rain has come down, it's captured all those toxins. But what happens to all that toxicity? It rolls back into our water aquifers and it ends up in our drinking water. We take people that take different drugs, different pharmaceutical products, end up putting that down through the porcelain feature in our homes, who ends up back in the water supply. So people have found it necessary to use much, much higher levels of water purification now than they ever have before. And we're talking about whether it's carbon block filters or whether that is reverse osmosis or whether it is hydrogen water or putting it through some type of vortexing system, hopefully to either clean the water or make it more friendly to our human body. But the truth is, and science will tell us, that that doesn't necessarily square things away for us. It still leaves us in a condition of dehydration. So this product, I'm going to tell you a little bit about True Hydration. There's actually 3 different versions of this product. One is, as you lifted up and shared with your audience tonight, True Hydration, which is our basic hydration product. We also have a cellular product, which is for athletes, and it's designed to help them with performance and recovery. And then we have one that actually does amazing things with the skin. It has an additional ingredient in it, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. So we talk about the actual process, and the company is here in Michigan, actually, and someone said to me, well, where do you get your water? Is that water coming from Michigan? Because that would be very concerning for people that know about the water in Michigan. And my response is that it really doesn't matter where the water is coming from. It can come from the ocean, it can come from a mud hole, it can come from anywhere in Michigan. It doesn't matter, because we put the water through a purification process that takes out 99.999999% of the impurities. So literally, the base of our product is pharmaceutically pure water. And from there, now we've taken out everything. And if you may have some followers that have been into water to where they look at the crystalline structure of water. Maruso Emoto has a book, The Hidden Messages in Water. It's very, very interesting when you start to go down this wild path. But what we do is we take this water, we do it through this incredible purification process, and then we have pure water. And some would say, oh, well, that sounds like that's hungry water. What you're going to do is you're going to give that to the body. It's going to suck out all the minerals and all the great stuff. But what we do is we literally take the water and we add to it electrolytes, just like you showed in that little package there, electrolytes and amino acids. And we create a water that is actually going to nurture the body at a cellular level. And in that process, what's interesting about it is we are measuring something called the osmolality. And the osmolality of water is the osmotic pressure of water. And so when you present water to the human body, the body has a decision. Are we going to wash the cells, or are we going to let some of that water into our cells and hopefully feed our cells with more minerals and more of the electrolytes, etc.? So when you look at tap water, or you look at Aquafina, or you look at some of the different bottles of water that you'll find at the the Quick Trip or the grocery store, we're talking about an osmolality of 1 to 10, maybe even 1 to 20. So you might be thinking to yourself right now, well, what does that mean, and what does that have to do with anything? Well, it has to do with how the body pulls that hydration into the cell. So when we think about hydration products, we think about things like Gatorade. We think about those types of products which are highly sugared or high sodium. Those are transport mechanisms to actually help with hydration at a cellular level. The problem is we don't want the sugar. We don't want the sodium in that format. The osmolality of a Gatorade is somewhere between 3 and 400. So the question then becomes, what's the sweet spot? Where is the best osmolality that's going to allow our body to take advantage of the hydration? Well, it's 200 is the answer to that question. So our product has an osmolality of 200. The cells of our body have an osmolality or osmotic pressure of about 240 to 260, somewhere in that range. And so in order to have the water being pulled into the cell to create this super hydration, it needs to be hypo. It needs to be just under the pressure of the cell, so the cell can actually pull that water into the cell and into the tissue. And that's where true hydration occurs. So as we look at all the different solutions that are out in the world today, I think we've all become pretty aware that we need to be biohacking. We need to figure out what it's going to take for us to have the best performance in our health that we possibly can. So biohacking is now kind of a full-time job. We know we need water. I was with a gentleman last night telling his story. He's a contractor. He works out in the elements, and he gets a lot of those cramps you were talking about. and he drinks between 180 and 200 ounces of water a day to try to stop that from happening. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a very, very tall order. I don't think most people can do that. What he has found by taking that product that you displayed on your screen is that now he could drink a couple of those a day. That's about 24 ounces. And he's now down to 30 to 48 ounces of water, and he's not experiencing the cramps anymore. So what's that telling us? It's telling us that the hydration is coming from the drink. He's not having to put in copious amounts of water in hopes of some of that getting into the cell. So as we talk about the kind of benefits that people get from true hydration, we're talking about a reduction in headaches, a reduction in migraines. If you've had a migraine, we all understand how terrible that feels, but what do the doctors tell us? They say, well, it's probably because you're dehydrated. Now we actually have a solution. So getting rid of muscle cramps. Sleep is a completely different story. Now, everyone's going to have their own story. People always ask me, well, what's going to happen for me if I take this product? Well, it's super simple product to take. It's just it's essentially drinking a flavored water, but the benefits are just a broad blanket because hydration literally affects every aspect of our health. If we think about cellular communication, if we don't have the right minerals, electrolytes, and fluid, hydration at a cellular level, our cells don't speak to each other very well. So the distribution of nutrients, the distribution of blood flow throughout the body, these things are heavily dependent on hydration. So one of the things that I personally notice in drinking this product is that I'm a tosser and turner at night, and my brain's always on fire. So I'm going left to right all night long. When I drink 2 servings of this product, which is 2 12-ounce cans over the course of a day, I got in bed, I went to sleep, I woke up in the same position at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, this never happens to me. So if you're having restless sleep, if you're having to get up and go to the bathroom a few times a night, you might find an incredible solution here. Mental clarity and alertness. Again, hydration helps everything communicate better. And I can't not mention the elimination cycle. Having minerals in our body, also hydrating our gut, and that whole process is going to allow you a much more enjoyable elimination cycle. And, of course, for the athletes out there that are actually looking for better performance athletically or better recovery, this is really at the tip of the spear. So the gentleman who brought this to us, his name is Manoj. He is a humanitarian who actually is making it possible for those of us who are interested in participating in this to kind of join forces with him, get the message out about the product. How is he doing it? Well, I'm going to make the irresistible offer to your audience tonight, Frank, and it really is an appreciation to Shang and what she has done for your group.
Okay.
But we're going to give a free offer to everybody tonight, Frank. Is that okay if I let people know about that free offer?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. Fantastic. So we're going to give you a website, and it's letmypeopledrink.com. Letmypeopledrink.com. And if you go there, you're going to see some information about our product. You're going to be able to dive into a few of the details there if you'd like. But ultimately, if you put your information in there, we're going to send you a case of our product absolutely free. Literally no shipping, no cost for the product, absolutely free, so that you can try it, you can taste it, you can experience it, and then you can decide if that's something that you would enjoy. And this is one of the benefits of working with somebody who's well-financed, is they're going to just give away their product. So it's actually an ingenious way to introduce the product to the market, but not everybody has the capital to be able to do that. So there's obviously a lot more to talk about, Frank, but I really wanted to kind of paint the picture here a little bit and give everybody an opportunity to experience the product, because when we start adding things into our water, if our water isn't pure, if our water doesn't have the right osmolality to it, then you're not going to get the extent of benefits that you get from drinking true hydration as a product. So it is going to help with all the other body functions. Anything that you put in your body nutritionally is enhanced by this product. So I think if people are really going to enjoy it, and they'll have an opportunity when they register on this page. Everything is secured and protected, so we don't need to worry about that. But we will be registering their email and stuff with the company, and then they will send out the product. If they may have a little communication back with you, that's fine. You don't need to do anything. If the email you get back says, well, just follow this link and buy the product, don't do it. Don't buy anything. Just let us send you that product for free. Enjoy it. And should you find that this is a gift and you would like to pay it forward, because I believe ultimately that's what this project is, it's a receive the gift and pay it forward. And you can bless somebody else with something that is absolutely amazing in terms of its ability to hydrate and give your body that blessing. Because after all, at the end of the day, Frank, our health is the most important thing that we have. And if we take care of ourselves, hopefully longevity will follow. So I want to thank you very much for the time tonight. I want to make sure I respect your time window here, and we can maybe share more at some point down the road.
I want to thank you for that offer that you just gave everybody, and I pray to God that they will take advantage of it, because, yeah, if you suffer from cramps, if you've been operated, if you have health issues, this is a wonderful product. Somebody just posted and they said selling water. Yeah, water is what we're made out of, and if you don't understand that, just go away. We don't appreciate people that don't appreciate what we're made out of. God made us. God made us out of water, man. If you, yes, go ahead.
He did. I thought I was going to add this because I think it's really easy for people to make an evaluation when they hear water. They automatically go, oh, let's compare that to, high alkaline water. Let's compare that to microclustered or hydrogen water. So here's what I really would like to share with people is this is a hydration. This is a functional beverage targeted toward hydration. The study that we just finished concluding at University of California, San Diego, it proves, it's in the process of being published, but it shows hydration at a completely different level than water. And so I don't want to kind of throw this in the bucket, if you will, or in the well with the water. What I'd like to do is say that this is a functional product that has a very specific target, and it delivers hydration.
Indeed. Osmosis is going from one pressure to another lower pressure, from a high pressure to a lower pressure. And I find it interesting how you compared, the creation that God made. Look at this planet Earth. The planet Earth is a mirror image of the human body. We're about 30% substance material and 70% water. That's pretty much what the Earth is. When you look at the continents, you may say to yourself, well, there's a lot more land, isn't there? Believe it or not, God knew what he was doing. Just like he did with us, the Earth has more water underneath its surface than it does on top of the surface. Here I am looking at the Pacific Ocean, and it is vast. It's like the universe, it's endless. And yet, the water that's underneath the crust is more vast than the water that you see up on top. God knew what he was doing when he created the world. It's a water planet. God knew when he was creating you. You are a water creature of his. Thank you, Pastor, sir, for bringing this product to us, and I pray that people will find a great use of it, because it is now part of my life.
Well, I think that Shane has done a wonderful thing. She set up a website so that people could very easily get their hands on it. And the company is going to be moving into a model where they're going to actually be charging shipping. So we've got even for free product. But right now, this is a very, very special time. So if you're thinking about it, act now. So it's literally 100% free. And that website that she wants people to direct it to is letmypeopledrink.com. Letmypeopledrink.com, and we'll make sure it gets out to you as soon as possible.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. We'll talk to you in the future.
I got you, Frank. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Admins, Tink, can you remove Bing, B-I-N-G? He's gone for good? Good. Yeah, we don't have time to play with that nonsense. Alrighty, family, now with the second part. Thank you kindly for listening to those products. Protandim is a part of my life because of cancer. It was a part of my life before cancer, thank God. And this product that we brought to you with our transcriber, Shank Doodle, support her. She's a sweet lady. You see the work that she does. Check this water out. Check this water out and see what it does to you, especially if you suffer from cramps, especially if you have scar tissue in your body, especially if you know that you need hydration. Oh yeah. Anyways, thank you kindly for listening to our two commercials. Now let's get to work. The next part is to talk about the Iraqi dinar, and I need to establish before we do anything. This is just a study. We don't know the date, we don't know the rate, and then if anybody insists that they do and that they want to bring it to us, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We just simply say goodbye to you. We show you the door. This is a speculative investment. You remember Martha Stewart. She opened her mouth about a speculative investment and then ended up in prison. You don't go around doing stupid things. So, with that in mind, once again, everything I say tonight is in my opinion. I don't care if it comes from an article. I don't care if it comes from the government, a good source, whatever. Everything I say is just in my opinion. All right? All right. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'd like to do is let's double check with our moderator, our admin. No, she got some articles up, I see, huh? All right, family, let's look at these articles because I find them to be extremely important, informative. And I want you to go to you're a member of ktfois.com. We've already gone past that. Go on into the final article thread. And I'd like to meet you at final article number 4,039, I believe it is. Let me see. Yes, 4,039. Now look what this says, and look at what I did. About 90% of this article is highlighted in red. It is an important article, family. I see the numbers are starting to go back up now. Yeah, go ahead and call everybody because we got some good information every day. It's just great information, isn't it? What we shared with you last night was I thought very powerful. We intend to share more with you tonight. And it's only because of the rate that it's coming out. Remember I called it the Venturi effect? We're in the Venturi effect. You talk about a perfect storm. Final article number 4,039, Economists. Financial reform. Now, what does that mean, financial reform? That's the monetary reform. That's what's adding value to the currency of Iraq. That's what's going to introduce the lower notes. That's going to remove the 3 zeros from the exchange rate. Isn't that nice? And it's in Washington, D.C.? Yeah. Okay, tell me about it. Well, the economists, and these are the economists that we pay attention to. What's up, buddy? Well, it turns out that financial reform is an important issue for the Sudanese visit, and Iraq is an attractive environment for investment. Whoa. Okay, so this is the right economist that goes with Soudani that's over there in D.C., and he's telling the Iraqi citizens, hey, the financial reform, the monetary reform, the one that's going to add value to your currency that we've been telling you about all this time. Well, it's an important issue with Soudani here in Washington, D.C., all right? And guess what? We're attractive. We're the prettiest girl in the whole Washington, D.C. Ain't nobody prettier than us. In fact, check this out. Quote, the main goal of this visit is to move the two countries to a new stage, and its details are part of the Sudani government program. The visit to Washington came to complete the Sudani ministerial program, and today there is a bright picture of the new Iraq. It will be completed. Whoa! He discussed a number of topics during the visit, including financial and economic reforms. Yes, there it is. Especially the issues of banks. Yes, there it is. And this requires coordination with the U.S. Treasury. Yes, there it is. So, yeah, and what else you say here? We also have 20 mineral companies that are not yet invested in Iraq, and we're getting them in here. Really? Did we not talk to you about mining companies yesterday? Today the articles talk to you about them, don't they? Okay, this is very, 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 very good. Because what we told you is in this article. Let's look at the next one. Final article number 4,040. Sudani and the Treasury emphasize cooperation to rehabilitate bank subjects to U.S. procedures. Okay, fancy words for what? Our banks in Iraq, what? They're sanction free from you United States Treasury, from you, United Nations Security Council, from us, the CBI. We're completely free, and we need these banks because they are a part of what? Well, our monetary reform. Are you kidding me? What do I say up in blue? Once again, like we told you, family, the monetary reform is the number one subject. What does it say here? Retaliating banks subject to the... Oh my goodness, they use almost word for word of what we say to you. What does it say in there? Quote, the Prime Minister Sudani received at his residence in Washington at dawn today the Undersecretary of the United States Treasury, whatever his name is, and the delegation accompanying him in the presence of the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, indicating that during the meeting they discussed areas of cooperation between Iraq and the United States of America in the financial and the banking and economic fields in general, and the steps that the government has begun to reform the financial and banking sector. To reform. They have begun. No, it's over and done with, sucker. And that's why they're there to report about it. Look at that. Everything we've told you. Everything we told you in print. Let's look at the next article. Final article number 4041. The Sudanese advisor. Have you caught on to these articles yet? It's all about Sudani, nothing else. The Sudanese advisor expects the dollar to decline after the Washington discussion. Excuse me? Say what? What'd you say? What'd you say? You were Sudani's entourage, right? This came from Sudani, didn't it? Yes, the Sudani advisor expects the dollar to decline after the Washington discussion. Dude, the dollar has already crashed in Iraq. The Iraqi dinar is growing and it's about to have a new purchasing power. And you're saying that the dollar is going to decline after the Washington discussion? Well, shoot, how much farther can it go? The Iraqi dinar is in position to go international without the American dollar. Quote, Iraq's readiness to transform the relationship with the international coalition into bilateral relationships, anticipating a relative decline, a massive decline in the dollar with the Sudanese visit to Washington. So let me get this right. You're saying that just because Sudani goes to Washington, D.C., the American dollar is going to toilet? Yes. It already toilet. I know. So what's it going to happen when it comes back? Well, if the dollar went down, what happens to the dinar, Frank? Well, it goes up. Oh, okay. Is that why he ordered everyone, the GOI, to put up those screens? Because he has an announcement to make? Well, yes, Frank. Okay, thank you very much. Wow. Yeah, we expect the dollar to decline relatively with the Sudanese visit to Washington. I mean, think about that statement. It's because of the trip to Washington, because Sudani's telling Washington, this is what we're doing. And what we're doing is causing the American dollar to crash. We don't use it no more. It's got cooties. It's got COVID. Final article number 4042. After 21 years of the dollar auction, Iraq is close to closing the window amid reassurance and warnings. What did we tell you, family? What is the blue title to this, by the way? Oh, and by the way, the article before that, I forgot to read you the blue title. The Sudanese advisor expects the dollar to decline after the Washington discussion. What is the blue title, family? Quote, this is what we shared with you yesterday in the golf course. Final article number 4042. After 21 years of dollar auctions, Iraq is close to closing the window amid reassurance and warnings. Are you listening, family? Are you listening, family? Do you understand? What was the reason why they never had a new exchange rate with value? Who was the reason? What was the reason? What were the bad guys using? What did we tell you? That it would metamorphosize, and then after metamorphosizing, that it would change completely and stop. Oh yes, the auctions. Behold. What is the blue title to this article, family? Once again, this is exactly what we taught you that would occur at the end of the monetary reform. The things that we taught you are not stupid. They are not silly. It's not nonsense. What we have brought you all these years is solid, and you know this by now. When we tell you something, within days or weeks, you see the evidence of it. Behold. And this evidence is all part of the monetary reform. We give all honor and glory to God. I'm not sitting here, tooting my horn or inflating my pride. I'm humble. I'm grateful to God of all that we have brought to you. I'm a little ashamed that He picked me of all the people. It's embarrassing. I am nobody. But this is true. And this is so powerful. The closing of the auction windows is the end of those that were stopping the monetary reform. And you know who they were. Quote inside of this article, and by the way, what do I say to this article in the blue title? Once again, this is exactly what we taught you that would occur at the end of the monetary reform. Quote, the central bank management plans to gradually cancel the dollar auctions during the year 2024. Well, then what the heck are you going to use? You know what we're going to use, Frank. Okay, leading to its complete cancellation by the end of the year, and to maintain it for audit and statistical purposes in an effort to enable Iraq banks to establish solid banking relationships with the global and regional banking sector in order to achieve the sovereignty of the Iraqi banking sector and full commitment according to the international standards and requirements and basically the international banking laws. And that's why they're there. In this article that I just read to you, it is massive. It is packed with information. Please check it out. Final article number 4043. Al-Rashid announces the start of the direct issuance of shopping cards to citizens. Look at that. Look at that picture. Isn't that a beautiful? Look at that. That's just, what do I say up in blue? What's my blue title for this article? This is the card that Eddie showed you yesterday when we were at the golf course, remember? Behold. This card is going to be an important part of the monetary reform itself with the Iraqi citizens, internally and externally. Now, hold on a second. Let me see. No, unfortunately, we had to stop right there. Claire could only do so much, so she had to stop right there. Give me a second while I now pick up where she left off to see if I can help. This is the card, and Parliament calls for confirming the deny hands. Then hold on a second, family. But you know what? I'm just going to pick up anywhere. Maybe I should just let you do the articles on your own here, family. Yeah, let me just do real quick here. Chalet, quote, private banks in Iraq are considering reorganizing themselves with another government structure. The financial advisor to the Prime Minister revealed that the banks in Iraq are considering reorganizing themselves in line with the government's plan to reform the banking and economic structures, sections. That is so true, because they're going international. They have realigned, restructured their banking. That's why they're at the U.S. Treasury. That's why IMF, World Bank, they're all there talking to them. This is a restructuring of the monetary reform of Iraq's currency. Next article, I don't have the numbers to them, but it is number 14 inside of our form. Chalet, what about the financial advisor to the Prime Minister? The budget, what about the budget, sir? This is very crucial, because when you get back, that budget is going to be busted open like a piñata. What about it, Chalet? Well, the budget tables are almost complete and will take into account urgent circumstances and variables. Excuse me, sir? The budget table is almost complete, and it will take into account urgent circumstances and variables. Sir, the urgent circumstances is that the citizens of Iraq need purchasing power, and the variable is the 3 zeros you're going to lift, right? Well interpreted, Frank. Thank you, sir. Final article, insert number 16. Iraq signs an agreement with America to purchase 41 military aircrafts. Hey, Parliament Committee. What'd you say about the military of the United States in Iraq? They gotta go. They gotta go. Iraq, yeah. Sudanese going over there to Washington to tell them you gotta go. You gotta go. Bunch of liars. Bunch of scandalous. No. Iraq signed an agreement with America to purchase 41 military aircrafts. How does that sit with you, Parliament? Exactly as we told you, family. We ain't going nowhere. Article number 18, a source explaining the truth about stopping electronic payment devices at gas stations. Why? Because they're going to change everything in their banking structure. And these cards are going to play an important part at these grocery stores, at the gas stations, etc., etc. Number 20, Al Sudani. We plan to export flour by investing in the production capability of private mills. That's wonderful, sir. That's just one product. I thought you were good at oil. You're good at flour? My goodness. Number 25, parliamentary finance calls for confirming the dinar in hands of the state. What? Parliamentary finance calls for confining, parliamentary finance calls for confining the dinar in the hands of the state? The Parliamentary Finance Committee pointed out on Wednesday the problem of the lack of cash in Iraq at the calling for confining the dinar. Oh, is that what you're talking about, bozo? Okay, Parliament Committee. The liquidity of Iraq's currency in the country has nothing to do with you. Turn around, shut up, and go into a corner and don't say another word. We don't need for you to tell anybody that we don't have any liquidity in our country. No kidding. No kidding. What have we been talking about all this time? The 3 zeros have been lifted. You didn't want that. You told them it's never going to happen. And now that they're lifted successfully and Sudani's coming back to make an announcement, you're telling everybody, hey, look at here. We're calling for the dinar, just to be in our country, nowhere else, like Iran. Shut up. Final article, you hypocrites. And I'm sick and tired of my own hypocrites. Number 26, discussion about the relationships between the two countries. The head of, hey, you know what? It's a great article. Read it. It talks about the United States and Iraq being together. Yeah, whatever. 32, Al Sudani received in Washington the chairman of J.P. Morgan. What? What's the title of your UB2B, family? Hello, J.P. Morgan. Hello, Moto. How are you? I don't know Moto, but I sure do know J.P. Morgan. Where you at? Well, I'm over here sitting with the chairman of J.P. Morgan, sitting next to the Prime Minister of Iraq here in Washington, D.C., and we're talking to the IMF, we're talking to the World Banks, we're talking to the BIS, we're talking to everybody. Yeah, I represent Morgan Bank, J.P. Morgan. I mean, you know who we're associated with, Chase Bank. I mean, Frank's been telling you until his face turned blue, but now he's got a suntan, so I guess you can't tell, can you? But I'm here. Ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. Hello, this is Chase Corporation. Can we help you? Yeah, can you tell me about the Iraqi dinar? It's a scam. Well, what is J.P. Morgan doing, wasting his money and his time over there in Iraq with all the banking structure? No, he's not. Well, you're pretty ignorant, aren't you? Hey, don't say that to me. Okay, well then you're pretty stupid, aren't you? This article is monstrous. This article is the one that I tell Chase Bank. What does mean? I don't know. It looked good. Post number 33, Al Sudani sponsors the signing ceremony memorandums of understanding with American companies. Hey, American companies sitting here with me. Yeah, what's up? I like you signed on a contract on a dotted line. We already did, Sudani. Okay. I like rearrange your contracts. Yeah, please do, Sudani, as soon as possible. Roger, Dodger. And when you look at the picture of all of these people, look at this. This is just one picture. All of this for a program rate. Are you ready? I pray you are. Family, I wanted to go over those articles. There are more articles, and you're going to go over them by yourself. Claire will put them up eventually, and you will be able to catch up. Right now, what I'd like to do is just give you a very quick bank story that I think will be of some pleasure to you. I need my recorded. Oh, I got it right here. I want you to kick back and listen to this. It starts out with this.
Hey, Frank. Good
No.
afternoon. I guess it's good afternoon in Aloha Land, my friend. This is Ruth,
No.
one of your friends in the Austin, Texas area. I called for just a couple of reasons. I really felt the strong urge just to tell you that I was praying for you, and bless your heart. Yeah, I know that you were really hurting yesterday, and UB2B, and you and Tank are the best. You always go forward and try to deliver everything for everybody. But I just wanted to let you know also a quick bank story with JP Morgan Chase in the Chicago area, specifically in Barrington, Illinois, about 35 miles north of downtown Chicago. My partner has been in touch with the wealth management office with JP Morgan, and he had noticed over the last 3 weeks that on a Sunday morning, and the branch is a standalone bank, but on a Sunday morning, the last 3 weeks, they've had several cars in their parking lot. So he inquired of his contact that he's made, and they told him that what they've been doing is training and everything, getting ready for the financial reset. And one of the gentlemen who is one of the wealth managers has had some experience. He was stationed, overseas in Iraq, and he purchased dinar several years ago and just brought it home with him. And he was excited to, learn from Ed that things were, taking place. And he said they've been having Sunday meetings, to make sure that everybody is properly trained. That's
Oh, and it stopped right there. So because of that, I said, they're having meetings to what? Oh, you kidding me? You can't fall off the earth like that. Hold on a second. So I give him a call.
Oh, it's going to 88. Okay. So, hey, Chad, remind me to write down number 88 recording. Okay, now, don't say your name. And I want to thank you for allowing me to call you this late at night. I'm in Hawaii, and you're on the mainland. But they're so very, very, cordial and very polite of you. Because when I heard your message, I'm like, what? That has got to be the best bank story I've had so far. Now, here we go. What state are you in? In Illinois. And what bank did you go? JP Morgan Chase. And can you give me an idea of maybe the county, the city, whatever you can, would you like to share? Sure, absolutely. It's in Barrington, Illinois, and Barrington is approximately 35 miles north of downtown Chicago. Roger. Okay. But a very affluent area in the state. Yeah. And they actually just, it was ironic because the regular JP Morgan Chase Bank, of course, has always been there, but about a month ago, I know that just on a trip to the post office, that the former Jeep dealership had been converted, and it had a sign for JP Morgan out front. Really? Yes. It's a large building? Oh, it's beautiful. What they did, how auto dealership has all the different, cubicles and offices. Yeah. The folks, they just retrofitted it into into the wealth management operation.
Wow, that's massive. Okay, continue.
What was really interesting is I know that 2 weeks ago that the bank parking lot at the regular Chase Bank had from 12 to 15 cars that were in the parking lot at 10 a.m. in the morning. And I thought that's kind of strange. And so I had introduced myself to one of the gentlemen who is actually a J.P. Morgan wealth management person. He was formerly in Iraq and brought back some dinar a few years back. And so when we approached him and asked him, our questions, he was very interested. So what he's been able to do, since we as a customer approached him and asked about the possibility of exchanging, he said, yeah, absolutely, and he started to get in and find out more about it. They've been instructed not to bring up the project to customers, but if someone asks what the policy is, they're amenable to saying yes, we're here, and the reason that there were cars here on Sunday, you'll see them every week. Because we're going through a training process on how to handle folks like yourself.
They're answering questions now.
So it was very, very interesting. And the bank's by itself, it's a standalone building. So it isn't traffic overflow from a neighboring business. So that's what was interesting about it. But I was very impressed, and I've been told that they advised me that Iraq had a major delegation that's in the United States. And I said, yes, I'm very aware of it, and I'm glad to know that you're aware of it, paying attention. And they believe that it's imminent that once this trip is done, and the leadership is back in the country, that he said probably when we practice drills on Sunday for here, we'll be doing the real thing. So he was quite excited, as are we.
I can't believe that you see, it's impossible.
Are you listening to this?
Good bank stories. I have over 100 of them, but I don't play them. People find them, hard to believe. They they're a dime a dozen. But I get a lot of people that are heartbroken and say, I don't have a good story. Oh, it's a disaster. Oh, they told me I'm crazy. It's a lie. I said, just stop. Please stop. Stop.
Right.
You know it's not. I know it's not. They're just ignorant. They work 9 to 5. They don't study like you do. This is amazing. The connection that you have, and of course you have an account open, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I've had a Chase account
Best
for
story
several
ever.
years, but there'll be a special account that I will open when we actually go out and exchange.
So he was a J.P. Morgan representative, is that right?
Yes, it was a J.P. Morgan representative, not Chase Bank employees, J.P. Morgan Wealth Management.
And he was in Iraq. He brought back dinars. He knows what's going on. I bet you he was happy for you.
Oh, yeah, he was happy for himself as well. And I explained, a few things to him that you have, taught to the family.
Yes.
And it's so interesting because he said, how do I join the family to get the opinion? So I gave him all the information so that he could with it. And I said, you're very impressed. I said, Frank and Tank and the whole family, I said they've got boots on the ground, overseas as well as here in the United States, and they follow it, and they love it, teach it, and it's just a fantastic Christian-based group that cares about others and is ready to move forward. So
That's wonderful. If he comes and if I know about it, we'll welcome him with open arms. Yeah, thanks for happening. I'm sorry, you were going to say something else?
No, I was just going to say, thank you very much for calling and letting me give you the information because I was ecstatic when I got to get a hold of Frank and let him know what's going on here because this is great. So,
the bumpy part of a chicken's leg. I got chicken skin right now. I got chills all over myself, man. Because it's the reality. It's the reality of everything that we're involved in is real. It is not, we wonder, it's not an opinion. It's there. And
absolutely.
in my opinion. Sudani gave orders just before he left. He told them, he says, I want those screens up. I want them all up. When I get back, I'm going to tell them. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that was my thinking that, they probably will not share the blessing, with the world until they get back home.
Yeah.
But, the people that I am the happiest for are the Iraqi citizens who have, suffering.
Bingo.
And it's just fantastic for them, and the fact that, God selected a few good hands like ourselves and about others.
Yeah.
It's, I'm excited to see how much I can do to help other people.
We're going to, brother. We're going to. KTFA has been doing a lot for about 15, 16 years around the world, and we're just going to increase it now. And I look forward to working with you, or you work with us at KTFA, but let's do something for God's kingdom, okay?
Absolutely, my friend.
I'm so proud of you, man. Look at here, please. Let me know if you have any more stories from from the same stores, okay, from the same bank. And you know what? If it's possible, go back there. It's massive, isn't it? They got all these cubicles and they're training. If you could maybe just go in there and say, I'm just a tourist. I'm here to take pictures. Get some pictures.
I'll try to do that.
Okay,
I have no problem with that. And they're excited because we have been able to enlighten them, with what our opinions are of what's taking place. I said, there's no guarantee, and, I don't know the rate of the date. And I said, it doesn't matter. I said, it'll come when the good Lord wills it to be true.
Exactly.
If you're worried about it, then, get on your knees and ask God to ease up the pressure a little bit. He'll do it.
That's what prayer is all about. That's what prayer is about.
Yes, sir.
I'm so grateful to you. I'm so proud of you. And if you have any more, please call me back, okay?
I will do, my friend. God bless you. Say I did think of you.
You bet. Bye-bye. Take
Good
care.
friend. Good night now.
Good night.
That's probably the best bank story I've ever given you, family. We have many more. I was going to call Vivian. Dave Mook, I saw that you have a bank story from Michigan. I'll probably call you and probably bring you on our next UB2B. But I want to stop with the bank stories. And now what I want to do, family, is I want to take you and give you the report from our ground people, from Eddie and his team. And I'm going to start with, we were together yesterday, I believe. Yeah, we were together yesterday. But I don't even know. Oh, yes, yesterday I read to you at the golf course when it was raining what he said to me. And it was impressive. It was extremely impressive, wasn't it? He talks about Sudani's trip, about the economic files, yes, but the number one thing is the monetary reform. CBI governor team meeting with U.S. Treasury about the Iraqi banks, saying that it's about the rehabilitation of these banks to the U.S. Treasury regulations. They're talking, in other words, we're going to follow banking laws. We're going to mirror exactly what all banks are doing. We're going to mirror what they're doing. We're going to follow international banking laws, and that's what we're telling the U.S. Treasury, talking about those banks and how these banks are needed for the reforms to be maximized. I mean, there's no more hiding, is there? We need this for our reform, for our monetary reform. Television says that the banking restructure is a precursor to the economic reform. How many times have I told you that the only reason why you have an economic reform success is because the monetary reform was successful first? And sure enough, there it is right there as they tell the Iraqi citizens, while their leader is in the United States of America. Then Eddie shows me, he says, hey, Mr. Frank, look what they just gave us. They told us that this is what's going to allow us to go international. Wow, they're really getting ready for us, aren't they, Mr. Frank? Darn right. This is off the TV here. We're seeing these new shipping cards, and the banks are giving all citizens, and they're saying for us to hold on to them and use them to buy food, merchandise, fuel. When we go to the stores, online shopping, all of this has been a long lecture to us on our television. Like you said, Mr. Frank, monetary reform education. Television says America offers Iraq 50 million and and an understanding, a memorandum to export gas. Sometime something to do with the gas. Okay, whatever. I told him, I said, those that I told you to pay attention to are now telling you today that due to the trip to Washington, D.C., your national currency, your dinar, will return back to its price. It will be reinstated back to what it was. I must admit, Eddie, I'm a little excited for Sudani to come back. Now, as far as the lock goes, yes, there is conversation that they want to replace him, but I wouldn't worry too much about him, etc., etc. I didn't. That's not important. Eddie, just like we told you, these 28 banks that they're talking to you about that have been released from sanctions are going to be part of the monetary reform process. These are the banks that you will be dealing with inside of your country in order for you to get your in order for you to get your lower notes that will replace the 3 zeros. They're doing and telling you about right now. Mr. Frank, Eddie says that the television shows Iraq is meeting with the General Dynamics. Wow, this is a big corporation who, with the United States of America, wants to rebuild Iraq's military tanks and armor vehicles. Yes, Mr. Frank, like you said, America's not going anywhere. You will protect us forever. And we have a special maintenance shop here that's going to service all of this weapon due to Iraq's severe climate terrain. Eddie, I said to him, Eddie, the banking structure is because of the monetary reform, not because of the economic reform. Make sure that you understand that. Hey, by the way, Shang, these are notes from yesterday, so you may not bother yourself in typing all of these. I'll tell you when I'm reading today's notes. Make sure that you understand that you now have the economic reform because of the success of the CBI in lifting the 3 zeros from your exchange rate. Make sure that your people understand this. Frank, Eddie says that part of the government delegation that's in D.C. is saying that we will witness a rapid drop in the dollar in the coming days. To which I said to him, whoop, there it is. There it is. The fact that they said it in Washington, D.C. is what we are looking for. Whoop. There it is, Eddie. Now, like I told you, Eddie, go talk to your bank friend because they are about to put up screens to show you the lower, to show you some things. Yes, Mr. Frank, and then you're right. The discussion about the 28 banks with the sanctions being lifted is a very big thing. They've been lecturing to us about it a lot. I guess it's important for us as Iraqi citizens. Parliament Finance held a big meeting today preparing for the arrival of the budget. It looks like they're giving in, Mr. Frank, and not complaining anymore. Today, 5:18 in the morning. Television is showing that the delegation is saying that the term sanctions is rejected. The term sanction is rejected by Iraq. The delegation is saying that we reject this because we are a sovereign country and financially independent. No burdens, no sanctions, no program rate. We are financially independent today. Now, there are big meetings that are going on, and they're talking about 34 more banks with sanctions, which Iraq has just rejected these sanctions. Did you know about these 34, Mr. Frank, also? U.S. spokesman is saying that the United States of America fully supports Iraq joining the WTO. Whatever. Today, next report, Mr. Frank, television. And by the way, Shang Doodle, what I said before that was the beginning of the new notes. Second report, Mr. Frank, television says after the delegation returns from Washington, an amendment law to the budget will be presented to the Parliament for voting. Pay close attention. I'm going to read it one more time. Mr. Frank, television, which is talking education to the citizens of Iraq, the monetary reform education. Television is saying that the delegation, when it returns from Washington, now you know what we've told you when they return, in my opinion. They're saying that when they return from Washington, a change in something, what? A law that's going to change something, what? An amendment law to the budget. Well, the budget, retroactive, maybe the variables. An amendment law to the budget will be presented to Parliament for voting. Mr. Frank, oil ministers on the news saying that they are asking Erbil to turn over oil production to Kurdistan region. Baghdad says that they can resume the pipeline to Turkey and have a new agreement. Mr. Frank, Parliament Finance calls on the dinar to stay with the state. We're not too sure what in the world they're talking about, which I explained to him later on. Mr. Frank, Soudani is now here. I'm sorry, Mr. Frank, Soudani now on the news here with us, showing him talking in America and saying with members of USA Treasury and Federal Reserve banks and IMF how they are continuing their negotiations with each other and they will continue to prosper. President of JP Morgan is meeting with Soudani and the IMF, World Bank, and the Federal Reserves. Now that's more than the articles tell us, isn't it? Ring-a-ding-ding. No, we don't know anything. This is Chase. We're just dumb. Yeah, I guess so. I say to him the following. Like I told you, Eddie, Chase Bank in the United States of America is one of the 4 major banks that's being involved in the Iraqi monetary reform. They work with JP Morgan, who will exchange the currency for us here in America through Chase Bank. That's why JP Morgan is sitting at the table with the IMF, the CBI, the BIS, the US Treasury. I mentioned that JP Morgan was there with Soudani in the meetings yesterday on my YouTube. I'm so grateful to see the article verifying what we said today. In fact, we mentioned that there are hundreds of important delegates as part of this entourage that is in America right now, all because of the reforms of Iraq, the monetary reform that brings forth the success of the economic reform of Iraq. Yes, Mr. Frank, this is my context, sending. No, okay, we'll leave that alone. Then I continue and I say to him, Eddie, Parliament prepares to receive the budget because the exchange rate now waits for the budget. Pause for a reason. Read it again. Eddie, Parliament prepares to receive the budget because the exchange rate now waits for the budget. That is a big turnaround in the monetary reform process of where we are right now. By the way, everything that I'm saying to you is just strictly in my opinion. Wink, wink. Sending over. I say to him, Eddie, I love how the U.S. Treasury tells the delegation, we're going to need these banks for the reforms. That's exactly what we've been teaching you, isn't it? Yes, Mr. Frank, that is exactly right. I say to him, indeed, the word sanction is no longer capable of describing your country or your reforms. So Soudani stomps his foot in Washington and tells everyone there that, hey, my country is sovereign. Don't you dare insult me. Hoorah. You go, Soudani. He tells Washington, there are no more sanctions on my bank or my country. Frank, Eddie's bank guy told him, look, I'm going to read this to you, but I want you to understand that everything is in my opinion, and this is Eddie. Well, there's a reason why I sent him to his bank friend. But I am going to read this to you. They don't want me to, but I'm going to read it to you. And you're going to take it as an opinion, and you're going to take it to God in prayer, and you're not going to act stupid about it. So I kept telling him, go see your bank friend, Eddie. Go see your bank friend, okay? So he goes to see his bank friend. And his bank friend says to him, Eddie's bank guy told him that if it is 1-to-1, well, then that's a good start. But he personally feels, because he personally feels like with what he knows, he's so careful how he does this. But the bank friend feels that, do it again, Frank, do it again. Eddie's bank friend told him if it's 1-to-1, that's a good start. But he personally feels like with what he knows that the rate could carry a $5 plus and support it very well because our reserves are way higher than what they are telling anyone. But that's just his opinion. Nothing solid to back that up. Okay, okay. We're just sending this information. Yeah, Eddie, and there's a reason why I send you to your bank friend, and your bank friend is telling you the truth, but it will not start at 5, in my opinion. As in my opinion, it will not start at 1-to-1. And then I follow up and I say the following to him. Family, are you paying attention? Oh, okay, I got one, Robin. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, good. I say to Eddie, look, Eddie, as far as the lady talking about Iraq joining the WTO, tell her that that's old news. Tell her to shut up. Sending. Also, Eddie, between you and me, what do you think that the amendment law that will be added to your budget, that will be added to the budget will be? What do you think that line item is? I think it's a new variable, don't you? Eddie, it is good to see Herbal contributing oil profits to Kurdistan. That will contribute that also to Baghdad because the pipeline to Turkey is actually a very important part in the region and the world and of your monetary reform. Also, Eddie, when Parliament calls for the dinar to stay in the state, those are just fancy words. That's all. It simply means that your country has very little liquidity of cash on hand. And this is great news because that means that the monetary reform process has been successful in its objectives. It is being run mainly on electronics of finances versus the physical cash at this moment because the 3-0 notes have been collected to the point that your liquidity is very low. And that causes problems not only for you as a citizen, but for the government. So don't worry what Parliament is saying, because once again, they are saying the obvious and they're stating what Sudani is doing for you, not what Parliament supposedly is claiming that they do for you as citizens of Iraq. As citizens, you know that the solution to this issue is more purchasing power, as you're asking, through the lower notes that will increase the liquidity. It all makes perfect sense. It's not complicated. It's just Parliament that wants to take credit at this moment. And you may think, well, that's a lot you just said. Well, I really did say all that, and there it is, all typed out to Eddie. Now, like I said, that was just bank friend's opinion, nothing more, okay? But there's a reason why we send him to his bank friend. He goes to the same meetings that number one goes to. They just sent this right now. Right now, he says, hey, classic on the golf remark. Because I told him, I said, Eddie, maybe me and you can open a golf course in Iraq. He says, classic on the golf remark I'm sending. And Eddie says, you are right. You are right. On the amendment law, it has to be a new rate. You are right, Mr. Frank. Then he sends me the Eddie, I know you're watching right now. Look what he just sent me. Look what he just sent me. United Arab Emirates has the best Kentucky Fried Chicken in the Fujairah, United Arab Emirates, Kentucky Fried Chicken, fast food restaurant with Kentucky Fried Chicken Arabic and English signs, stock photo whatever. Eddie says, this will be in Iraq soon. Whoa, buddy. Hold on, he just said something else. Federal government today ordered the spending. Yeah. Yes, it is, Eddie. Hold on, let me tell him. Yes, it is, Eddie, important. Like I told you, it's part of the monetary reform. And it's impressive to see that they're putting money in that direction to make this move quicker. Yes, it is important. Like I told you, it's part of the monetary reform, and it is impressive to see that they're putting money in that direction to make it move quicker. Send, boom. And what he just sent, by the way, he says that the federal government today ordered the spending of more money to repair the pipeline that's going to be sending, we're going to be going through Turkey. And yeah, and what did I tell you about that pipeline? It's important for the monetary reform. Yeah. Let's just say it's the stimulus, it's the fuel, it's the money. I say to him, yes. I already told you what I said to him. Alrighty, family. So, we gave you the articles. We gave you a bank, the best bank story I've ever done. Hi, Drew. Drew Bradford. Thank you, sir. We gave you Eddie's powerful report, his bank friends report. And I now find myself in a position where I think it's best that we end it. I believe it's best that we end it. Hi, Roddy Horton is a new member, for 5 months with Club 26. Welcome, all of you. God bless you. Anyways, listen, and as far as Club 26, I apologize. My schedule is insane. This morning, we woke up and there's about over 300 communications. It's difficult. But the Lord will bless us soon, and I will have an office, and I will have a staff, and they will help me, and we'll move forward. Now, the final thing that I want to talk to you about is the Hawaiians. And it's not just Hawaiians, mind you. Okay? It's not just Hawaiians. Anybody in Hawaii that wants to come to this meeting, so be it. But allow me to say this. There are many of you that are calling in. What would you say, Tink, about a dozen or so?
That are calling wanting to come fly in. Yeah.
At least or so. Many of you are calling and saying, we want to fly in. We want to fly in and be part of the meeting. No. Don't do that. It's not necessary. All you need to do is make sure that you have an account open at a bank that's going to exchange foreign currency. We're showing you Chase. We're showing you Wells Fargo. Find one. Open an account. That's it. You don't have to answer any questions. That's it. Then when the blessing occurs, go to that bank and tell them you want to talk to the wealth management department because that's your quote unquote team that I've been telling you about. Now, Hawaiians. And for anybody that wants to come that is local, please don't go out of your way. If you live on another island and you want to come inter-island, I mean, that's up to you. But still, think twice about traveling. And once again, when you come, you will have to answer the questions. We want to know your name, your address, your phone number, and your email. Everybody that walks through that door. I don't care if you have kekes. Kekes are children. Every person that comes through that door will be identified and logged. That information will not be given to anyone except to my wife and myself. For what reason? For security reasons. The next issue of security is that there will be a police officer at the door. As you come through, if they use a wand, I expect you to allow it. If you don't, just go wait in the car. It's that simple. Number 3, inside of this place, there will be a police officer. But he will also have others as well. There will probably be a total of another 8, 4 inside and 4 outside in the parking lot. They will be incognito. You will not identify them, but they will be there to protect you and your cars, your property, your vehicles, your whatever it may be. Okay? Number 5, do not bring your dinars. Do not bring your dinars. I like things in threes. Do not bring your dinars. Bring yourself, bring a notebook and a pad. If you want to record, you're welcome to do that, but you will have to, just record me. I don't want you to record anybody else in that place. Now, get a pencil and paper because I'm about to give you the address, the location, and the time of when we will meet. Like I say, this is Hawaii. All Hawaiians are welcome to come. Please think twice. If you're coming from Inner Island, don't do that. If you're coming from the mainland, definitely don't do that. This meeting will be held in Waianae. Waianae is spelled W-A-I-A-N-A-E. Tink, if you could back it up and put it in.
You want me to type it in?
Sure, you ready? I'll do it again.
I'm already putting it.
Oh, you already know how to spell Waianae? Oh, look, you go, girl. Look at you. She giving me that look like. Alrighty, so here's the address. 87-728 Farmington Highway. Farmington is spelled Farrington Highway. Waianae, Hawaii, 97692. Now, the people that we told you that will be outside, they're going to help you to park. There's parking facilities because you're going to a church. The event will occur at 2 p.m. Hawaiian time. 2 p.m. Hawaiian time on the 28th of this month. Is that the right date?
Yep.
On the 28th of April of this month at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 87-728 Farmington Highway in Waianae, Hawaii.
Farrington. You're saying Farmington. Farrington.
I am saying Farmington.
Farrington.
Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, I'm embarrassed. That's okay. I got a suntan. You can't tell that I'm blushing. Farrington. Get it right. Okay, so it's Farrington. Farrington. I'm sorry. I don't know. I just work here. Okay, don't pick on me. So there you go. Saturday, 2 p.m. And you're going to a church. In fact, the name of the church, let me see if I can find it for you as a backup for a backup. It was under R, wasn't it, Tink?
Well, I don't think you put the name of it though.
Wasn't it R-E or something like that? It moved it, so it's probably under Pastor now. Pastor, here we go. Son of a gun. No, I don't have the name of the church. Yeah, I'm sorry, family. I thought I had the name of the church itself. I don't. But you know the address, and when you get to that area, you're gonna see people directing. You'll see the parking lot area, and you'll see a church, and maybe you can Google map it. Google map it. You'll be able to see it and find it a lot easier. Alrighty, family. I'm looking forward to being with you all. And what we're going to do on this meeting is I'm going to talk story. What is she saying? Frank said, say the 28th.
April 28th.
Hey, Roger. Hey, okay, I got it. April the 28th, Sunday. We gave you the address. We gave you the location. You know what to expect. I told you what to bring, what not to bring. I can't think of anything else. How about you?
She said you said Saturday the 28th. Sunday the 28th.
I said Saturday? I'm sorry. It was Claire's fault.
There you go. That's the name of the church.
She's cracking up, right? Well, the name of the church is where, honey?
International
Ah, I see it. Honey me 87. Thank you. Oh, honey. Doesn't that mean like kissy kissy or lovey or give me honey. Give me honey. Hey, Kuipo, give me honey. Okay. So, International River of Life Church. Oh, you must know the kind, huh? You go there? Alrighty, family. I can't think of anything else. Frank, Bobby says, Frank, why do you like things in threes? Because it reminds me constantly of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Because I think that the cube is an amazing structure. I think that the tetrahedral structure, even though it's four-sided, relates to the cube as well. I also love it because the cube of a cube is the dimensions of heaven, in my opinion. Heaven is a cube. Anyways, yeah, I like things in threes, but I also like the number 1 because there's only one God. I also like the number 7 because it's divine, that belongs to my Heavenly Father. I also like the number 12 because of the 12 that served under Jesus, the 12 that serve at KTFA as admins. Yeah, I like many numbers. I like 44 especially. I like 40. I love 40. It seems that God loves 40. He uses it constantly. 40 years in the wilderness, lost with Moses. 40 nights in the desert, Jesus tempted. Yeah, 40 is everywhere. Noah's Ark, it's everywhere. So anyways, I didn't mean to get into that. I can't think of anything else. Mr. Keith says 26 is the best number though. I agree. In the Hebrew language, the alphabet represents numbers. And when you take that number, Yahweh, and you add up the numbers, it equals 26. I was conceived on the 26th of a month, February. I played with the football number 26 on my back and front for many years. I've been with you as 26, never knowing that I had God by my side all the time. No wonder I was healed of cancer. I thank you all for being with us. God bless you all. I can't think of anything else. Tink, anything on your behalf?
Yeah, I
All right, come on down. Thank you, sir. Walking Stick sent something, but I'm going to save it until tomorrow, family. While Tink comes up here and shares something that she wants to share with you all, I'm going to look at Walking Sticks one more time to see if it's worth sharing now or wait till tomorrow. The floor is yours, Tink.
Okay, we'd like to thank those who donated tonight: Duke, Doris, Mike Fullard, Monica Seavey, Lady Patriot, Bus Driver, Drew Bradford 2 times, thank you, Roddy Horton, and a brand new Club 26 member, NHDA Cash.
Thank you, sweetheart. Eddie just sent again. Television is saying that the pipeline in Kurdistan is nearing resumption and the oil must go to Sumo. Very good. Very good. I agree, Eddie. It should go to Sumo. I agree. Walking Stick. He sent me the following. Now, this was yesterday when he sent it to me. I'm only going to read a part of it for you, okay? Because it gets in depth into some issues. I spoke to someone earlier a.m., which is 4 in the morning. He is over there. He says that they have been sitting down, all the contractors in the country, for the weeks that they are there. It's not just 1 week, Frank. Oh. That aside, there are delegations of investors worldwide that are and will be pouring in over there. Now, he sends more, but I want to stop right there. So That's interesting because, yeah, we know that that's what's going on. The monetary reform is so loud that Sudani is dealing with all of the contractors because of the new variables. Okay. And I think we're done. So allow me to say God bless you all. Thank you kindly for being with us. And I love you. I love you in the way that Jesus Christ loves me, with agape love. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. Now the problem is that I get my immune therapy tomorrow. I may do a UB2B, but it may be pretty late. It might be like around 10 o'clock at night. I don't know. But whatever the case is, if I don't do a UB2B, it's because my immune therapy beat me up too much. And I'm sure you'll understand. God bless you all. I love you sincerely. And I noticed that somebody made a post earlier and they said, Frank, you said that this was your last UB2B last time. I never said that. I never said that this was my last UB2B. I said our days are coming to an end. Please be careful how you quote me. It causes me a lot of stress because people call and complain. Can you believe that? God bless you all. Sweet aloha. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
I don't have any cookies.
Say what?
I don't have any cookies.
No. Wait. This is serious. How can you not have any cookies when I got, look at, 1,472 thumbs up?
I don't have cookies, but I have a cow.
But a what? I'm going to have a cow. I'm going to have a cow if you don't give me a cookie. What the heck is that?
It's a cow. It's a stress reliever, stress reliever, stress reliever. Try it. Try it. No, don't eat it.
Oh, don't eat it? What do I do with it?
Squeeze it.
What do I want to squeeze it for?
Because it's a stress reliever.
Milk is going to come out. Okay, I squeeze it.
Ooh. Ooh.
Moo moo. I wanted a cookie. Look what I get. Good grief. Y'all take care. Bye-bye. No, I'm serious.